All right, guys. So let's jump into things here. What I wanted to do for this webinar was make it like super practical because the reality is that there's been a lot of changes happening within marketing for landscapers, right? And so I think that the timing of this is like really, really good. And also, a lot of the time we don't really take any time to actually plan. I know things are super busy and such. And so I thought that I would put together a really great just planning session for you guys. And so I think that this is going to be like super valuable for you here. So when it comes to marketing, a lot of things have changed, especially this year. So some examples of like some of the things that we've seen change right now is AI and automation technology, right? Like a lot of the times now, we don't even know anymore what is real and what is not real. I don't know about you guys, but a lot of the AI videos that are coming out now when I'm scrolling through, I can't even tell like what is real, what is not, right? It's difficult to know that. Another thing too is just like trust and authenticity are at an all-time low now, right? It's so easy to fake things now with AI that a lot of people just don't even trust any marketing anymore. It's becoming very difficult. And I would say that a lot of platforms now are really shifting. If you go to Google now and you ask Google a question, it's defaulting now to an AI response, right? And so there's going to be a lot of shifts in things like SEO and search marketing and all that stuff. Also, what's going on right now too is like we're seeing a lot of economic pressures and budget constraints, right? We had this huge boom with COVID where you could basically just name your price on a project and then someone would move forward. Whereas now a lot of landscapers are struggling because they're getting pushed out of the market because what they were charging before, now there's a chuck in a truck type thing where he's going to charge nothing and get the job, right? So a lot of landscapers are struggling with landing jobs because of their pricing. And also, I would say that a lot of content and just format expectations are shifting now, right? Like this whole short form thing is really taking over. Most content now is short form content, and it's very different than what was working a while ago, right? Also, what I've noticed is that marketing funnels are no longer a straight line now. Like, it's not like someone sees your ad and then clicks on the ad, submits a quote, and comes through that funnel literally now. Now, someone sees an ad, they Google the name of your business, they, do some research on your reviews, and then they forget about you for a while. And then they talk to a friend about it, and oh, yeah, I remember now. And then they Google you again, and they see another ad. And it's like, this weird non-linear funnel that people are going through. And so as marketers, we have really need to adjust our approach to fit that. And right. And so as a landscaper, you also need to keep that in mind too, is that now, it's not really that simple anymore. A lot of things have changed. So competition is going up. It seems like pretty much every other day, there's some like kid who just starts up a new landscaping business now who knows how to run a Facebook ad or do this or do that. And a lot of landscapers are struggling with that. It's also getting harder and more expensive to acquire new customers because of that, right? There's more competition and more people who are paying for advertising. So it is getting more difficult to be able to be successful with it, right? Marketing campaigns in general are becoming more complex. This is kind of going back to what I was talking about with marketing funnels are no longer a straight line, right? And finally, it's like, it's not enough to just be good at what you do. You actually need to be great at what you do, because if there's always other guys who are willing to do it for a lot less, and there's, all this new competition and et cetera, then you are going to need to be very good at your service delivery, very good at your marketing, and very good at your sales. And that is what's definitely going to protect you going into some of these like more turbulent times. So here's what we're going to talk about today. We're going to cover goal setting and marketing budget planning. We're going to also talk about a lot of the strategies I'm going to recommend in 2026 for you guys. We're going to talk about some like really tactical tips on how to implement some of this so you can walk away from this and just like, bam, like put it right into action. And then we're also going to show you some real examples of like stuff that's really working right now. So let's dive into goal setting here. And before I go into this, I just want to pop open the chat. Which one of you guys, do you guys actually have a real goal going into 2026? Is there a real goal that you have in mind for your landscaping business that's written out. You're like, this is our goal. We're going to do this. Type in the chat right now what your goal is if you've got one. And if you don't want to share your goal, then just say, I've got a goal. Like, I would love to know that who just has that. All right, Lucas, 3 construction jobs a month. Love it. Sweet, dude. I would also be like what size of that is that job? Maybe like you could even go deeper and be like this kind of size, you know? So then you're not like, oh, I got a job, but it's like a lower value job or something. So even like making that more specific, but I like the, at least that you have like, hey, this is how much I want to take on. Any other goals that you guys have? Or you could even just give a thumbs up and be like, yeah, I've got a goal. Because we're going to dive into some really cool goal setting here that I think is going to be really helpful for you guys. I'll take another minute here. Anyone else? Anyone else? All right. Well, we're going to jump into creating some really cool goals here. Oh, Steven, established with landscape designers to promote my timber framing service. Yeah. So that's called a JB partnership. So that is definitely a very smart move. That is something that I think makes a lot of sense for your business, Steven. Absolutely. Absolutely. Very smart. All right. So let's jump into this here. So let's set some goals. So anytime that I'm working with a landscaper and I'm helping them to develop a goal for a marketing campaign, this is what we do. Number one, we're going to start off with what is the main service that you offer to homeowners, right? So you want to get specific here. Like, what is the niche that you kind of want to be known for that are the type of jobs that you really want to take on? So what is your niche? If you want to just go in the chat there, guys, I want this to be like, you know, not just me like really, you know, yapping at you. Like it's kind of more of like a back and forth thing. So if you want to just type in there into the chat, like what is the niche that you really want to go after? Is it softscaping? Is it hardscaping? Is it planting, installation? Is it more maintenance? What is the type of service that you guys really want to focus on? Because what you focus on is expands, right? So if you are like, hey, this is like the type of service that we're really good at, we make good money doing this, we want to be known for this, that is what you definitely want to have clarity on, right? Hardscaping and drainage, Haley says. Awesome. Lucas says decks and pools. Fantastic. All right, so we got some clarity on the service. The next thing that you want to do is you want to calculate roughly like what is the average order value of that service? Is it $20,000 for the average deck? Is it $50,000 for, you know, doing like the average hardscaping project that you want to take on? What does the average order value look like? Now, what I would recommend is like do this based off of what's kind of already coming in. So like, what have you gotten in the past that's kind of like already working? And what is the average order value of that type of job, right? So you want to write that down. What is it, the average kind of value of that? Once you have that number, then what you want to do is you want to come up with like, what is your annual revenue goal for 2026? So, you know, let's say that you want to hit, you know, we want to hit $1.5 million in 2026, right? Let's say that's your goal. The next step then is that you want to start to ask yourself, like, what are we projected to do this year, right? So what are we going to do without like all this new planning and all this new marketing? What are we going to do by the end of 2025? Let's say that you're going to hit $1 million by the end of this year, right? You don't change anything, like it's projected to hit that. Next, like what you want to do is then be like, okay, what's the difference between that goal, right? And how are we going to make that happen? So we'll talk about the how, but in that example that I gave, we need to come up with $500,000 in additional revenue for next year to make that 1.5 million a year an actual reality, right? So I know that this seems super simple, but we need to start with the basics if we're actually going to start to create something like this and scale this up, right? So once you have those numbers, I'm going to tell you a little bit about a strategy that we use for when you're creating a marketing campaign. So the first thing is that you need to understand something called the 50-30 rule. So anytime that we do any kind of advertising, I use this method to be able to reverse engineer in terms of like, how much do we need to spend on a marketing campaign? How many leads do we need? How many estimates and sales to actually make the goal a reality? So real quick, just so you understand like what the 50-30 rule is, it's that generally 50% of all of the leads that you are going to generate for your business using advertising, whether it's Facebook or Google, etc., you want those to result in an in-person estimate, right? So let's say that you generate 30 leads, then you want 15 of those leads to be an in-person estimate. A lot of people will be like, hey, why does it need to be in person? It's because typically, when you're doing any kind of advertising, you are going to have a higher close rate when you do an in-person estimate and your odds are just higher. So anytime with a client, we say do an in-person estimate in the beginning. And then if you want to move away from that, you can, but I would highly recommend to do your sales in person. So 50% of those leads are going to be an in-person estimate. And then of those estimates, generally, you want at least 30% of those estimates to close into a sold job. So if you're operating at those KPIs, which is a key performance indicator, that is generally where we're like, hey, good job. Like, that's a good performance. Some of you are going to be way higher than this, and some of you are going to struggle a little bit in certain situations, right? So it's like some of you might set those appointments at like 70% for your leads. Awesome. Others for you, like you might struggle a little bit with even booking appointments because you don't have a lot of sales training or something like that, right? So generally, this is the metric though that you want to shoot for. Okay. Now for ads, on the ad side of things, what we typically look for our kind of benchmarks are going to be a $20 to $50 cost per lead. So that is on Facebook ads primarily. Also Google ads. Google is typically a little bit more expensive. However, on Facebook especially, $20 to $50 cost per lead, that's like where you generally want to be at, right? And anything under 20 bucks, that's like excellent. Anything over $50, that's where we're like, hey, we need to do some improvement, right? And I'm going to walk you guys through like some of the things that come into that, like how we improve it and all that in a second. But first, I just want to start with the budget stuff so far. I'm just going to check the chat. So Javi says, would love to be known for hardscape and turf installation, but seasonal. How can I fix this? Yeah, nice. Well, that's definitely something we can talk a little bit more about in the Q&A section at near the end of this for sure. I don't want to deviate too far off of that. Oh, Lucas was asking that about decks and pools. Nice. Yeah, I mean, there's certain offers that you can do along the way. So like here in Ottawa, we'll do like Christmas lighting or permanent lighting installation in the winter for clients. So then they can get like a bit of a revenue boost over the seasonal aspect, but we'll talk about that in Q&A a little bit. So everyone here is going to get these resources at the end of the call, by the way. And yes, this is being recorded, so I will send this over. But I'm going to give you guys this calculator. So this is a calculator that I use to be able to help you understand what you need to spend on ads to be able to get the type of results that you are looking for. So for example, let's say that your average order value is $10,000, right? And let's say that you're looking to add $60,000 per month in additional revenue with a marketing campaign. And let's say that the cost per lead you're coming at is 50 bucks. I always like to be conservative, so I typically will leave this at $50. And then your booking rate, like I said, 50% of your leads go in for estimates, and your close rate is 30% of those estimates close into a job, right? So in this scenario, then you would need 6 additional jobs per month. You would need 20 additional estimates per month, and you'd need about 40 extra leads per month coming in. And that would be about $2,000 per month in ad spend that you would need to spend this. So obviously this calculator isn't perfect, but this is a really good tool for you to use so that you can just pop in here and be like, okay, like you guys are going to get this at the end, by the way, so you can play with it a bit, but you'll be like, okay, like my average order value is 25,000 and I want to add 100,000, like maybe it's a little different. Then this is what you'd be looking at too, right? So because you are coming in at a higher average order value, you're going to need a little bit less estimates, a little bit less jobs, and you can actually spend a little bit less, right? But whereas like, let's say that your average order value is like $1,500 and you want to add $100,000, well, that's going to require a lot more ad spend to be able to pump that many leads and that many estimates, et cetera, right? So like I said, not perfect, but it is a valuable tool for you to use to be able to just generally get an idea of the amount of volume that you're going to have to do. Right. So, any questions about this so far? I'm going to pop into the chat and take a look at that. Does anyone have any questions about that calculator? Again, you will get that, and I think it'll be helpful for you. So that's called the 50-30 rule, and that's a very simple strategy that you can use. Let me know if anyone has any questions. Otherwise, I'll just move on. Okay. I'm going to wait a couple more seconds here. We got a lot of ground to cover, so I'm going to jump through it. Nice. Okay, cool. So the next thing is like, okay, so what strategies and platforms are we really focusing on in 2026? Like what's working right now, you know? So I would say if you could really put your focus on anything going in 2026 for your online marketing, it's going to be meta ads, local SEO, Google ads, and CRM automation. So I'm going to go through each one, but let's start with meta ads here. Okay, so I would say that our agency, Savant Marketing, this is our main specialty. And the reason for that is because Facebook is just so amazing at being able to put the right message in front of the right person at the right time. And so here's what I would recommend for you for Facebook ads. Some of you guys might be running like messaging ads on Facebook where someone messages you, or some of you might be sending ads to your website. What I would recommend in 2026, for the most part, is doing lead forms. This is a simple form on Facebook that someone can just fill out, and it's going to allow someone to basically fill out a form, and then that will go to your email or your CRM or whatever, and then you have that information. So it's a perfect middle ground, in my opinion, between messaging ads, which anyone, if you've ever done them before, you just like, you're going to get a lot of people messaging being like, hi, like they just push it by mistake. And so you're going to get a lot of dud leads. And then on the flip side of that, if you're sending to a website, I personally find that it's going to increase the cost per lead. And there's ways that we'll talk about where you can actually increase the quality so you won't need to use a website in many cases. So I would recommend to use lead forms. In terms of like what the ads actually look like and like the content to do, what's working really well right now are going to be authentic short form video ads. So if you guys attended the webinar I did a little bit ago, I was talking about how what's working the best right now for Facebook are just video ads on your phone. And you're just talking into your phone, just being like, hey, what's going on, everyone? This is Matt here from Example Landscaping. I just want everyone in the area to know that we're helping people with their patio installation or whatever it is, right? And these videos are about a minute long. I'll show you some examples in a second. But if you can like get over the awkwardness of like putting yourself on camera and do these vertical style videos, just introducing yourself, this is what's working the best right now on Facebook. And I think the reason for that is because most people aren't willing to do this. And so a lot of like what's out there right now, especially, is going to be like stock footage, stock videos. And now with AI, it's like all this AI content. So authentic videos are still one of the best ways that you could use to really stand out. And they are by far what's working the best right now. If you don't want to be on video and you're like, Matt, like, absolutely not. I'm not going to be on video. Like, I hate how I look or how I sound or whatever. It's just awkward for me. I would recommend then we could use HeyGen AI avatars. So basically, these are like AI avatars that actually look pretty good, and you can use them to kind of mimic that selfie style feel. It's not perfect, so I wouldn't recommend to like actually show the AI avatar talking for like more than 3 to 4 seconds without like switching to another shot of like, the work you're doing or something. But it does kind of do the job. So this is something we'll use for clients when they don't want to be on video. It's not as good as doing the original video, but it does work. So the tool is called HeyGen. I'm sure that you've kind of seen these AI avatars around, and it is pretty effective. Another technology that we're rolling out in 2026 is using VO3. So this is another AI avatar generation tool, and it's very similar as HeyGen, and it can generate AI avatars. We use this for clients where we want to test like a different hook. So instead of telling a client like, hey, go out and film like, 10 5-second hooks for us to experiment with for a video. We're just going to use some AI to experiment. And then what we'll do, and then we'll be like, hey, this is working really well. Could you go and record a video like saying this phrase as a hook, something to get people's attention. So those are some tools that you could use using AI to use the avatars, but still I would recommend like the authentic, like real video ads are just what's working the absolute best. Something else too that I'm noticing that's working the best on Facebook right now are reel placements. So reels are like where you scroll through, and you got those short form reels on Facebook or Instagram. This is what's working the best right now for placing your ads. So in Facebook ads, like there's different places where you can place your ads and you want to have them show up. This is where you're going to find that they're the least expensive from our experience. All right. Steven is saying, we're not all as handsome and friendly with the camera as you are, Matt. Well, I appreciate that, man. It's honestly just practice. It's honestly just practice. After a while, when you talk in front of video and stuff, you just get used to it. But if it makes you feel any better, Steven, I still have moments like I can't watch my own videos. I'm like, oh, I can't even look at myself. Like, I hate the way I talk, whatever. So everyone deals with it. It's definitely something that you can work through, though. So this is another thing that's changing in 2026 as well when it comes to Facebook. There was a new update. I just made a video on YouTube about this. I'd recommend to go watch it. And it's all about the Andromeda update. If you don't know what that is basically because there's been so much more AI content that has come through on Meta now, they had to completely recreate their algorithm so that basically it can keep up with the amount of new content that's coming through. And so basically how this new algorithm works is it favors with your ads having a lot of different ads out. So gone are the days where you could set up like 1 or 2 Facebook ads and just run that and like that's it. Now you should be testing around 10 different ads per ad set, which is like the targeting within a campaign. You should be testing about 10 different ads at any given time, right? And Facebook is going to really like that because it's showing the same audience many different ads, which is going to basically make sure that the person's not getting what's called ad fatigue. So if someone is like seeing the same ad over and over and over again, they're not going to respond to that ad anymore. It's going to start to lose its effectiveness, right? And so Facebook loves it if you can show the same person like multiple different ads because it's giving more opportunity to say, like, oh, you don't like this one? Well, what about this one? Well, what about this one, right? So that's what we do for clients is we're testing many different ads at the same time. And then you want to refresh these ads every 2 to 4 weeks. Basically, like once you set up all these different ads, you're going to find that like some of them are like popping off, working super, super well, getting like, $20 or less per lead. But then you're going to notice that other ads are getting like expensive leads. Like I would say anything over $50 per lead, like I said, is expensive. So you're going to want to turn those ads off. And then the ads that are doing really, really well, you want to look at them and be like, what about these ads was working really well? Like, how can we create more ads that kind of have that? Maybe there was like that specific hook or like that specific video or picture did really well. You want to add more ads that are similar to that you can also kind of refresh, right? So you want to do like about a 2 to 4 week cycle of these new ads coming at any given time. And the reason you want to do this, again, just so you're clear, is so you can keep that cost per lead low, right? The lower that cost per lead, the more leads that you're going to be getting coming through, right? If you just set it and forget it, then you are definitely going to see in 2026 rising ad costs. You're going to get a lot less leads, you're going to spend a lot more money, and you're not going to get the type of results that you want. And guess what? Every other landscaper right now is just putting up a handful of ads and then just leaving it, right? So if you can constantly have new content coming through, Facebook's going to love that. You're going to get a lot more leads and you're going to get a lot cheaper leads. Something else to keep in mind right now, you can make a note of this, is putting a remarketing pixel on your website. Basically what a remarketing pixel is it's a simple code that you can get from Facebook to put on your website. And when you have this code on your website, this is amazing. You guys are going to love this. Is that every single person that visits that site, they're going to start seeing ads all over the internet for your brand. And what this is doing is you're probably spending money somehow like marketing your website, whether it's like having lawn signs or a wrap truck or SEO or whatever it is that you're doing. And all these people are coming to your site, but you're not remarketing to them. You're not following up with them and being like, hey, do you want to get a quote? Blah, blah, blah. Right. And so you're losing a lot of these prospects who will visit a site and then they'll just like exit out, you know? And so you want to have a remarketing pixel on your website. This is going to be a really cheap way for you to remarket to those existing clients. So if you go to our website, savantmarketingagency.com, you'll see what I mean. You'll start seeing ads of myself, and they're not even ads of being like book a call or whatever. Some of them are just value ads of just, you know, talking about different concepts. So you could do the same exact thing. You could have an ad being like, ever wonder like how much a landscaping project costs? Well, typically you're looking at this or whatever, you know. So it's a really powerful way to educate people who are just visiting your site as well. Another strategy that I'm finding that works well is something called a lookalike audience. So what this is that if you have a list of people that you've worked with in the past, so this is like, you know, people you've given a quote to or people that have moved forward with and like you've actually worked with one-on-one, and it was like a sale, like a real client, you can take that list and upload that into Facebook, and then it will actually target people who are similar to that. Now, I'm kind of running out of time, but I just want to tell you like a lookalike audience is a very powerful strategy. One of our clients actually did that, and he told us like in the chat, he was like, yo, like this is crazy. I'm like landing jobs across the street from like one of the other clients that I have. So Facebook can like know, hey, like in this area, this is like a hot spot. This is like where a lot of these clients are. And it will start showing ads in that area because its AI is smarter than us and knows where people are more likely to buy. So lookalike audience, you know, that's a very powerful strategy that we love doing with clients. These are two new strategies that I'll touch on fairly quickly here. And if anyone has any questions about this, you can just let me know. Conditional logic. This is a very powerful, fairly new addition to Facebook ads. So with lead forms, where someone fills out that form on Facebook, sometimes people will just like push it by mistake as well, or like they're not really that serious or whatever. So sometimes if someone is struggling with lead quality, right? If you've ever struggled with lead quality on Facebook ads, like some people say, oh, Facebook ads, like they're all tire kickers or whatever. Definitely not. There's lots of ways that you can actually like really qualify people, and using conditional logic is one of them. So if you could imagine on your Facebook ad form, you can actually put additional questions that will further qualify the person. And then if they fail on those qualifications, the form will just close. So what this is going to do is it is going to save you a lot of time from people who are submitting the form and then like, let's say they're not qualified. Like, let's say you add a question on there being like, our minimum charge for a project is $3,000. Can you afford this? And if the person says no, then you could actually make it so that like the form will close and then they won't even be able to submit a quote. So it's going to save you time, but also what it's going to do is it's going to signal to Facebook, hey, this person was not a good fit for my business. Please show me people who are a good fit. And Facebook wants to give you people who are going to be a good fit. So this is a way for you to train it. Essentially, it's like, think about it like, you know, training like a dog or something where you're giving it a treat when it does something good, right? It's the same exact thing for Facebook ads. So when someone comes through on Facebook and it answers the question that you have there and they go through, Facebook's like, like this person is what, you know, this landscaper wants. I'm just going to start showing them more of these people. And so conditional logic is a great strategy to further qualify leads and teach Meta's algorithm to show your ads to people who are more likely to submit for a quote who are qualified. Next is something called conversion API, which is like the first thing on conditional logic, but like on steroids. So conversion API is taking it a step further, where what you could do is actually have your Facebook ads hooked up to your CRM And then what you could do is actually connect them both together so that your CRM is talking to Meta and vice versa. And let's say that a lead comes through Facebook and then they go automatically into your CRM. Let's say that you close that job into a sale and you drag it into like jobs sold section. You can actually set it up using Conversion API so that when it goes into that job sold section in your CRM, it will tell Meta, hey, I just closed this lead. And then Meta is going to know, like, whoa, that lead just turned into a sale. I'm going to start finding more people like that. So you're actually, now you're not just optimizing for more qualified leads, but you're optimizing for people who are most likely to actually convert into a sale now. So again, this is why I love Meta, is because it has so much data about people, and you can use this, guys, to increase the quality of your leads and get very high quality leads coming through people who are Meta has the data, so it's going to be able to show this to people who are extremely qualified. And over time, it's going to train that. This is called pixel conditioning. It's going to train that Facebook algorithm so that it's showing to very qualified people. So do we have any questions about this right now? Awesome, Lucas. I appreciate it, man. Guys, any questions about conditional logic and conversion API? I don't want to be like nerding out on you fully here, but if not, I'll just kind of keep moving along here. All right, we'll continue here. So in this document here, guys, I have some video ad examples for you. So you guys can check these out after the webinar. They're going to be in the document here. And these are some real examples of some ads that we've done for some clients. So I want you to check those out. I think that those are going to be really helpful as like a reference for you. The other thing that I want you to check out too is the Facebook ad library. So if you go to the Facebook ad library, this is where you can actually search for other landscaping businesses running ads, and you'll be able to get lots of ideas of like, what are other landscapers running for ads? And you can just watch them and be like, oh, like this one I like, or this one. It's also just going to give you a really good idea of like, how can I stand out in this market? This is a tool that we use for our clients so that we can actually see like, okay, in this market, what do the Facebook ads look like? So we can know how to stand out. So very, very powerful tool there. So I'd recommend that absolutely. Like I said, guys, everyone on this call gets a free video ad, okay? So what I want you to do is I'm going to put my phone number here in this document. You can text me. So my number, if you just want to take it down, it's 716-265-0729. I'm going to put it in the chat actually. So if you want a custom video ad, we'll make for you. There's no obligations or anything like weird about that. Just text us. So I'll give you my number. I'm going to put it in here. And then just tell me a little bit about your service and such, and we'll make you a free video ad, whether you want to like record it on your phone or if you want us to just use AI or whatever. You'll have that ad and you could use that for your first Facebook ad and you'll be ready to go for the season, you know? So I think it would be like really cool for you guys just to have that. So I'm just going to double check this. So 716-265-0729. So text me at that number, guys, and we will set you up with a free video ad. All right, so let's move along here. So the next strategy that I'm going to recommend is going to be local SEO. So basically what local SEO is that everyone here should have what's called a Google business listing. This is a free listing that you can have on Google. And basically what it is where people could leave you reviews, right? So if you don't have a business listing on Google yet, I highly suggest that you set one up. It's completely free. Just go to business.google.com. You can set one up for free and people can start leaving you reviews on that business listing. Now, what local SEO is it's the process of ranking that business listing up higher and higher and higher up in search results. So that when someone is typing in best landscaping company near me, you're showing up in those map results and you want to be number one, because if you're top three, 2, or 1, you're going to be getting daily phone calls for that. And these are free leads. So once you rank up there, as long as you keep doing some general maintenance, which is the process of local SEO, you can stay up there without paying for ads. And now you're just getting organic phone calls coming through. Super powerful strategy. We're going to go through some of the factors. We have a tool called Local Falcon. And basically, what this tool does is it will actually show you where you're ranking at different areas in the city in terms of number one, number two, number 20, whatever. So if you want us to give you a free scan on Local Falcon, we'll scan your business listing and we'll show you like what your current ranking looks like. Text me at that number. We'll set you up with a scan and you can just have that as well. So then you'll be able to see like, how am I ranking locally? So let's talk about things that you could do to start ranking higher, right? Number one is going to be reviews. You want to get as many reviews as possible on that business listing. Super important. 5-star reviews, very, very important. A little trick too that you could do is in your review response, like you should be responding to all of these reviews. In your responses, you want to actually say the keyword and the city of where you're located. So let's say, for example, you do pool installations. So in your reply to the review that someone left for you, you're going to be like, hey, Sally, thanks a lot for choosing example pools for your pool installation in Texas or, in Houston, Texas, right? Or Ottawa, Ontario, or Charlotte, North Carolina. So you want to say the keyword and you want to say the location. Obviously, you don't want to be like a weirdo and say it like in a really weird way. So try and like do it eloquently, but the reviews is going to be a really big role there. So get the reviews. There's some other aspects here that are really important too. I would say like posting on your listing is going to help a lot. So you can actually like, most people don't know this, but your business listing on Google, you can actually post from it and like make social media posts on it. So if you post on that 2 to 3 times per week with pictures of your work, showing keywords of like your jobs, so like, oh, I just did this pool installation today in Canada, Ottawa, or like wherever your neighborhood is. Google's going to see that, and Google like loves people who use the posting feature on that because no one's using it. So people who do use it, it's going to be like, oh, I'm going to rank this person higher because they're using our product, right? So just posting on it is going to help you guys. And there's other stuff here too that we could talk about. So like if you want to have a deeper look at that, ask us for a free scan. You could check that out. I think like it's going to be really helpful for you. And by the way, the more that you rank in Google business listing like this, that is naturally going to boost your results in ChatGPT as well. So ChatGPT and these AI services actually reference Google map listings and like this information as a factor of like, who should I show this to? So now you're actually ranking in ChatGPT as well as Google just by doing this one thing. So like people ask me like, what's the one thing that I could do with Google to really get some big results? This is the thing. So this is really important. I hope that you guys found that helpful. I'm moving along here. If you guys have questions, I want to leave enough room for a Q&A at the end. Hopefully you guys can stick around a little bit at the end there. Let's talk about Google Ads. So Google Ads, in my opinion, right now, I don't find that these search ads are working very well. So that's like where, you can boost your ad and then you're like showing up in the search results in Google and you can like send people to your website. I'm finding that Google search ads don't work really that well anymore. We do it for some clients, but I'm finding that the cost per lead is starting to get expensive. Like I'm talking $100 or more. Whereas local service ads for landscapers is much better in my opinion. So local service ads is like that Google guarantee kind of badge, so you sign up for local service ads, you get placed right like where people are looking anyway. You get placed at the very top. So local service ads is at the very top of Google. Then there's the search ads and then there's the local SEO map pack. So like local service ads is what we're doing right now for clients. Works really well. What I like about it too is that it kind of piggybacks on like all the work that you're doing for your reviews as well. So it essentially boosting your Google business listing. So people will see your ad with all of your reviews there as well. So it's like a double whammy. It works super, super well. and it's a pay per lead model essentially. So you actually will tell Google, hey, I want to pay 50 bucks a lead. And then it's like a bidding system. So you'll basically just be bidding $50, and then like that's where you're capped out at, you know? So it is great because it's like you can control your costs, you're getting at the top of Google, and you're taking advantage of all those great reviews. And finally, here, guys, like I was talking about, the CRM aspect, everyone here needs a CRM. Like, I don't really care what you use. A lot of people like Jobbers, some people like Service Titan. We use Go High Level for all of our clients. So we give that to all of our clients. And I find that it just helps with speed to lead. You know, it's like, yeah, we could set up automations with a CRM so that every time a lead comes in, they receive like an automatic text or an automatic email. So contacting your leads super quickly, very important. And a CRM is going to help you with that. And again, remember what I was talking about with conversion API with Meta and Google is that like we set our clients up with Go High Level. So then they drag the leads into different pipeline sections in that CRM. And then let's say that, you know, you drag something to jobs sold. Well, now Meta's results is going to be better. Google's results is going to be better. So that's why we give it to all of our clients, because helps us do our job better as well. So I would highly recommend, like, everyone should be using a CRM. You know, there's a lot out there, but yeah, I mean, Steven says, I recently built a deck for a client that found me via ChatGPT. It blew me away that they found. We get a lot of leads through ChatGPT now, guys. It's crazy. I get a decent amount of landscapers reaching out, just being like, "Hey, I found you on ChatGPT." Like, if you're not taking advantage of that, simple thing that you could do is just getting your Google business listing right and setting that up. So guys, I want to leave some time here for a Q&A, and I want to respect the time of you know, us like finishing at 7 like I said there. So we can jump into a Q&A. I've got my number up here. So let me just pop back here, and let's jump into a Q&A. If you guys have some questions, I'd be happy to answer. And just like, you know, I can keep talking about marketing if you want. I love this stuff. I can talk all night, but you know, do you guys have any questions for me basically after, you know, just some of this short stuff that I've shown you here? Ask in the chat. I'm happy to answer. I'm gonna have a drink of water because I've been talking for an hour apparently. What are some good short form video examples? Yeah, perfect. So here, I'm gonna drop the link actually for all of you guys. So these are some examples in the chat. Oops. All right. So those are the examples there. You guys will get that. So I'll email you over with the webinar document that I have here, and it's in there. But those are some examples there that you could check out. So those are some ads that we've created for clients. So we'll make you an ad like that, you know? So check those out, guys. Text me at the number that I gave there, 716-265-0729. And we can kind of chat back and forth, and then my team will make you an ad just like that, and then you'll be all good to go. So those are some examples of like what's working really well. You know, you want to just like take out your phone, film yourself. Hey, what's going on? This is the services that we offer. We'd love to help you out. And then we'll edit in like some B-roll, you know, which is like videos of like, you know, what your service looks like, or pictures of your work, et cetera, et cetera. Good question, Javi, man. Any other questions for me here, guys? We got 15 minutes here. I'd say like if you guys aren't doing like those style of ads, that's going to be like a really big game changer. And then just boosting up your local business listing, posting on it, getting lots of reviews, replying to all the reviews with the keywords and the city in it. That's going to boost you up in ChatGPT, boost you up in Google. You're going to get some nice organic leads coming through there. And then on social media, you got like the really authentic videos. That's going to help you out a lot. Steven asks, What is a good app for editing videos and adding photos of work completed? For the photos of work completed, Company Cam, a lot of our clients use that app and really like it. It's great for us too, because they could just add us as a user and then my team can go in, grab the photos. And then for editing videos, we use CapCut. CapCut is great. There's a free version. I use CapCut to edit my YouTube videos as well. It's phenomenal. It's free, so you can't go wrong with it. So CapCut, I would recommend that. You guys should make it like a challenge for yourself. Everyone get out a video ad. We'll make it for you, but record the ad on your phone and send it to me, and we'll make the video. We'll make the ad for you. In the local SEO posting activity, are you referring to posting in the post tab or just posting a picture? Both. So you want to post the pictures to the actual business listing, Javi, and then you want to use the post tab as well. So go in the post tab and you can like write up a post, you know? So treat it like essentially as you would like any other social media platform, and do that like 2 to 3 times a week. You're gonna notice like we could do a scan on your business listing, Javi, now, and then if you do that, you will see. And by the way, like we offer that as a service, local SEO. So we do that for clients. So we handle that like admin work because some clients like just can't keep up with like the posting, you know. And the posting is just one aspect of it too. There's other things that you can do as well that I didn't get a chance. Like I could do a whole webinar on local SEO, to be honest with you. So, if you ever want to have a conversation about like some other factors for local SEO, I recorded a YouTube video that goes into a little bit more depth about it as well. I also forgot to mention this, guys. I will also be sending you a free copy of my book as well after this. So in the email, when I send you like the webinar notes and all of these resources, I'm also going to send you a PDF of my free book. I would recommend that you get it on Amazon. It's called Landscaper Marketing Secrets. This is going to really help you. Like if you found this webinar helpful in any way, shape, or form, this is going to really help you as like a guide going into 2026, because I just like get right into it. Like I'm just like, do this, do that. And it got a cool endorsement from Keith Kalfas. I don't know if you guys know who that is, but he's a cool guy. Anyone else have any questions here? Typically, what percentage of ads are your clients using Meta versus Google? So most of our clients are using Meta. Our flagship program, which is called Quantum, includes Meta and Google. And we recommend to start at 3,000 a month ad spend for that package. And so typically like the split that we'll do on that is we'll do about $2,000 a month on Meta and then the $1,000 or so on Google. And then like, let's say that a client's like, wow, Google's really popping off. Like I want more of that. Then we'll say, okay, let's scale Google and add more to that. So I hope that answers your question there, Daryl. Our business wants to market that we take care of everything. We don't have a niche we want to market to. Is that going to be difficult to market to, or should we focus our paid advertising on specific services? Yeah. So Ashley, I would not recommend to be like super wide. If you go really wide with your messaging, what's going to happen is lead quality is going to go down. And you're also going to find that you're just not attracting like the type of your cost per lead is going to be higher. You're not attracting the type of leads you're really going to want. So what I would recommend is that you isolate like 1 or 2 services. Let's say it's hardscaping, like patio installation. Okay, we're focusing on patio installation, or maybe we're focusing on decks, or we're focusing on pool installation. But you don't want to like put out an ad saying like, yeah, we do decks, pools, hardscaping, mulching, softscaping, sodding. Like you don't want to be like super generic. So you could do that on the back end, right? Like, so when you get clients, you say, hey, by the way, like we also do all this other stuff. Do you want us to do that for you? That's fine. But on the front end for paid advertising, you want to be very specific. Haley asks, how about social media posts? How valuable is it to post regularly on Facebook and Insta? Haley, it's valuable. It has a different type of value. So when we're running ads for clients, we say like, you should be posting on social media and doing that in conjunction with paid advertising. It helps a lot, but all you're doing is just posting on Facebook and posting on Instagram and you don't have any paid ads. it's like more of a branding play. It's not going to actually like, oh, we're getting like lots of leads coming from this because there's no gasoline behind the fire, if that makes sense. Do you use any sort of Instagram marketing? Yes, we do. So Meta owns Instagram, right? So Meta is Facebook, and Instagram is also owned by Facebook, aka Meta. So when we run ads, we expand it to Instagram as well. So yes, we do. How much do you see your clients grow in 1 year from using ads? It's a pretty vague question because it depends on how much growth they want, right? So for example, we have one client based out into Florida. Last minute. Yes. Okay. For example, we have one client based out in Florida where they're doing around $2 million a year. They came to us and like, we want to grow. So they implemented an ad campaign and they added just under $1 million in 12 months with us. It was an aggressive campaign. They're a larger business, et cetera. So like that is one result, right? But then we have some other clients that are like hovering around like 300,000, 400,000, and their goal is like, hey, I want to hit 1 million or something like that, right? So it definitely varies. A better question to ask would be like, how much do you want to grow? Use the 50-30 rule to reverse it. And then we could put together a plan to hit that goal for you, like how much ad spend, et cetera, right? Javi asks, any books, videos you recommend to improve on sales? Jeremy Miner. Jeremy Miner is really good. I like him. So his last name is Miner, Jeremy Miner. His company is called Seventh Level. I don't know if he has any books, but he has a YouTube channel. And like I like his style of selling. I don't know if you guys have like followed like Grant Cardone and some of these other guys where they're really like pushy. Whereas I like Jeremy Miner, where he's kind of more about like, let me just understand what it is that you really want. And like, he's just, his approach is more eloquent to me. How do you differentiate yourself from everyone else? One of the easiest ways that you could use to differentiate yourself is by niching your services and having a really good offer. Hey, we offer a triple clad iron guarantee where, anything's ever wrong with your job, we'll come back and fix it, and then everything is covered, all the material, et cetera, et cetera. So having like a really good warranty is a good thing you could do to differentiate yourself, because a lot of contractors and landscapers will say like, oh, our quality is amazing, but they don't like put it into a measurable quality, right? So warranty, very powerful. And honestly, just having like really great reviews, really good pictures of your work, really showcasing like what you can do for people, it's going to help differentiate yourself. If you want to learn how to differentiate yourself, Ashley, read the first step in this book. It's literally called How to Stand Out from the Crowd, and it will show you step by step like what you could do in your business to stand out. All right, guys. Hope you guys have a good night. Thanks again for coming out to the webinar. Appreciate your time. See you later.